A little girl sat quietly in the corner of her classroom, clutching her hand tightly. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she whispered, "My hand hurts so much." No one paid attention at first. Children around her were busy with their books, and even the teacher didn't notice the pain hidden in her trembling voice. But at that very moment, something was about to happen that would shake the entire school and reveal the true depth of a father's love. Her name was Aisha, a soft-spoken 8-year-old who rarely complained about anything. She had always been the kind of child who smiled through her struggles, even when things were difficult. But this time was different. She had injured her hand 2 days earlier while helping her mother carry heavy grocery bags. Instead of healing, the pain had worsened. By the time she came to school that morning, her tiny fingers were swollen and she could barely hold her pencil. When the teacher finally noticed, she frowned and asked Aisha why she hadn't spoken up earlier. The girl just lowered her head and whispered, "Mama said Baba is too busy with work. I didn't want to trouble anyone." The teacher's heart sank. She knew who Aisha's father was, a well-known millionaire businessman, famous for his success, but also criticized for never having enough time for his family. Just then, fate intervened. A staff member who had been trying to call Aisha's parents finally reached her father. Within minutes, a black luxury car pulled up outside the school. The sound of hurried footsteps echoed through the hallway, and suddenly, the classroom door burst open. A tall man in an expensive suit rushed in, his face pale with panic. He was none other than Mr. Camel, the man everyone admired for his wealth but never really knew beyond his power and prestige. "Where is my daughter?" he shouted, his voice trembling. All eyes turned as little Aisha lifted her weak hand. The room fell silent. For the first time, the millionaire looked nothing like a powerful businessman. He looked like a terrified father. He ran to her, knelt on the floor, and gently took her hand in his trembling palms. "Why didn't you tell me, princess? Why did you hide this pain from me?" His voice cracked, and his eyes filled with tears. Aisha looked up at him, confused but innocent. "Because, Baba, you're always busy. I didn't want to bother you. I thought you wouldn't come." Her words pierced his heart deeper than any wound could. For years, he had built his empire, thinking it was for his family's future. But in that moment, he realized his daughter didn't want his money, she wanted him. The teacher quietly suggested taking Aisha to the hospital. Without hesitation, Mr. Camel scooped her up in his arms and rushed out. On the way, he kept whispering apologies, kissing her forehead, and promising he would never let her feel neglected again. At the hospital, the doctors confirmed that her hand was badly strained but treatable. She would recover fully with proper care. Relief washed over him, but the guilt in his heart remained heavy. He stayed by her side all night, holding her hand as she slept, refusing to take a single phone call. For the first time, the world of business could wait. The days that followed brought change. Mr. Camel rearranged his entire schedule, cancelling unnecessary meetings and dedicating time each morning and evening to be with Aisha. He helped her with schoolwork, told her bedtime stories, and even walked her to class. People around him were stunned. The once untouchable businessman was now a devoted father who found joy in the smallest of moments. But the true challenge wasn't just managing his time, it was winning back the trust of his daughter. Aisha had grown used to his absence, and though she loved him deeply, she hesitated at first. It took weeks of consistent love, attention, and effort for her to finally believe that he had truly changed. The turning point came one evening when Aisha climbed into his lap, hugged him tightly, and whispered, "Baba, my hand doesn't hurt anymore. You make everything better." Tears welled in his eyes as he realized she wasn't just talking about her hand, she was talking about her heart. From that day forward, he lived differently. Yes, he was still a successful businessman, but now he was more than that. He was a father who showed up, who listened, and who made sure his daughter knew she was his greatest treasure. The story of Mr. Camel and Aisha spread quietly among those who knew them, not as a tale of wealth or status, but as a reminder that love and presence are the most valuable gifts a parent can give. Because in the end, no amount of money can replace the comfort of a father rushing in when his little girl cries, "My hand hurts so much."